I think this is an easy way to blame others for maybe not being in a position that you want to be in financially, and that's okay. But there's a lot of these big corporations that have bought up 20, 30, 40%, and sometimes 100% of areas and neighborhoods. And they're even building neighborhoods that are strictly to rent where they're not buying them. But short-term rentals, to blame short-term rentals for generations of loss of primary housing. Short-term rentals are in vacation areas, and people don't live in vacation areas. For one, it's too expensive, and two, most people don't like all the tourists coming around. So a short-term rental would not be in a neighborhood that you would live in with your family, because one, the HOAs don't allow them, and two, you just don't make enough money, so it doesn't make sense for the investor. But what we have to do is we still have a problem with housing, and it's become too expensive. And the reason it became too expensive is because during COVID, the government was buying mortgage-backed securities. And what I mean by that is when, let's say a company does, like Wells Fargo does a mortgage, they go to Wall Street and they insure it with, let's say, Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. When they insure those properties and those loans, they have to get them bonded. So when they sell those bonds, somebody has to buy them. And there was nobody buying these. So if the government did not step in and start buying 10, 20, 30 billion dollars a week, a month, then our interest rates would have went to 9, 10, 11, 20%, who knows. So the government was falsely inflating to keep the economy going because they weren't letting people work, they weren't letting people leave your house, and COVID kind of locked down everything. So the way they offset that was they gave really low interest rates. So with really low interest rates, people like myself were able to buy properties because I was prepared. I had good credit, had good income, and I was ready to go to buy as many properties as possible. A lot of people found themselves in a hard position because they weren't, this guy keeps sneezing, they weren't ready financially, and they weren't able to take advantage of the 2% rates. On my lake house that I have, that my wife and I bought right before COVID, we got 2.25 on a 15-year fixed. And now that rate would be in the 7.5 range, and the property values have doubled. So I don't know. So it's not really a position to be in now where you would want to buy something with rates being that high, well, and the payments being that high. But if you don't, there's a good chance that property values are going to go up and interest rates aren't going to go down. So the Fed is talking about lowering interest rates in September. They're saying there's a 100% chance of that happening. The Fed's not saying that, but other people are predicting that's going to happen. So for example, if they lower it 0.25%, which they're predicting is going to happen, then what that would mean is if